All right, this is an interview with Brandon Yamashita. All right, who started the band?
I started the band with Kevin, actually. He was always coming to my old band shows and stuff, and he told me, let's get together, and soon enough it just happened, and wrote a song called Stories Untold, and then went from there. I called Steven and was like, dude, there's this really cool singer, we should really work with him, and then I got a hold of Marcus and just started the band from there.
How'd you guys meet?
I've known Kevin since I moved to Ripon when I was about 14, and he went to Ripon High, so I met him there. We used to hang out, write raps together, and I met Marcus, I don't know, probably at some party like 8 years ago. And Steven, I was at a grocery store with a guitar playing, and he came up to me and was like, hey dude, you got licks? I was like, yeah, I guess. So he came over and we ended up jamming. That's pretty much how that went.
All right, who's your biggest influence and why?
Honestly, when it comes down to it, probably Jerry Cantrell. Even though I played nothing like him, I just think the fact that he's more about writing for lyrics and melodies, I just think that's a cool thing. And he always has a really passionate story to tell behind the music he puts. So for me, I would definitely say Jerry Cantrell. And as far as guitar playing, probably Gary Moore. I was really into Gary Moore and Randy Rose and Joe Bonamassa, just people like that, blues players.
What is the biggest show you have played, and where?
God, I don't know. I think a long time ago I played this festival out in Weed, and I don't even know how many people were there. But with Hit and Run, I don't know, we played sold out shows around here with like POD, Trapped. I don't know, Trapped was Saving Abel. I don't know, man.
All right. What's the hardest thing about being in a band?
Oh man, I can go on forever about this. Fuck, I would have to say is you got 5 personalities, and not all the time people are going to agree. Singers tend to be the most diva. We all know that. I think the hardest part about being in a band is just knowing that you're doing something that is a 1 in a million chance. Like, there's millions of people trying to make something out of their music and stuff. So that, being in a band with 5 people with different personalities and then trying to pursue the dream is probably the hardest part about being in a band.
What year did you start playing the guitar?
Fuck. I was never into guitar as a kid, man. Like, there's other shit. Probably, man, maybe in like 2007, 2008. My friend Aaron passed away, and I don't know, I had a broken foot at the time, and I was just like really bummed out and stuff, and I actually borrowed my friend Mac's guitar from the French cassettes and just kind of taught myself how to play, so probably around then.
Are there anything in the makings of a new album?
Yeah, we're going to do a new EP right now. We're going to come out with 4 or 5 songs. We're going to have 3 heavier songs, more guitar and, musically oriented, and then have an acoustic song, and then just more of like a, kind of heartfelt ballad, painful song. So yeah, for sure.
All right. What style do you play? An example like baritone?
Like amps and stuff?
Yeah.
I play a Mesa Triple Rectifier. I've been freaking stoked off those amps since I got one. So I play that and any type of Les Paul body style. Just pretty comfortable with those.
What's the biggest venue that you have played in?
I played a bunch of festivals. I don't know, man. I don't know. I played most venues in California. I think like the Roxy was really cool. Just the people we played with, and played a lot of the clubs in Hollywood. Those are always really fun. I don't know. Probably some festivals that we got invited to. Probably the bigger ones.
Have you guys headlined any shows?
Yeah, locally. we have like, you know, pretty good support locally, so pretty much just do that around here. We'll play last, so for the most part, yeah.
What one band do you wish that you guys could tour with,
Oh man,
and why?
probably Avenged Sevenfold, just because of the draw. Mad respect to those guys. As far as who I would be honored to tour with, definitely fucking Seven Dust, because to me they're like my favorite band. Like, you know, as far as, you know, I don't know, they're just Seven Dust, and then Avenged to just exposure.
All right. What's your fan base?
What do you mean by that?
Like, do you have like regular groupies? Like, do you have people that are diehard hit and run fans that's been with you since day one that influences?
There's some people that are really down with it, which is a beautiful thing. I think it's pretty cool because it lets me know, as far as like writing music and lyrics and stuff, that I'm doing, you know, something that, you know, touches them for the most part. So that, I think it's really cool, and yeah.
What's the most memorable moment that has happened to you or the band?
Behind closed doors?
Whatever. Behind closed or open?
I've walked in on Marcus with some crazy shit. I don't know, man. I really... We won some awards locally. That was pretty cool. To me, just people that support it, I think it's really, like, it's a blessing. Like, people will come and buy out our whole merch booth. You know, stuff like that is just really touching to me. It's probably that.
Who has produced the band's albums?
At first, we actually worked with a producer named Chris Frankel. He's a local musician. He does a great job, and, you know, we went in there not knowing him or anything. I mean, you know, we pretty much were just like, shit, you know, let's give it a shot. We pretty much had a vision of what we wanted to sound like and stuff like that, and he pretty much caught on right away. So we worked with him in the early days. He got all our demos ready, and then we sent them off to a buddy of mine named Adam Rappel, who's, you know, just took us to a next step as far as, you know, music-wise. You know, he had a long talk with me. He was like, you know, what do you want to push for, more modern or just your stuff? And the early days, it was more just, you know, try to get modern, you know, just try to reach out to, you know, a bunch of crowds instead of just heavy riffs and breakdowns and stuff like that. Just try to do different stuff. So we're working with those guys. It's really cool.
What was your first band?
My first band was a band called Princess Di, which was fucking insane. Yeah, that was with Spencer Landcastle, Lucas Burns, Mark Baker, Ryan Mora, and Steven. And that band was just a complete mess. It was insane, but people were really feeling it, which was weird, because I look back and I listen to the music, I'm like, oh man, what the hell were they thinking? But yeah, Princess Di was my first band.
Alright. When not touring or playing live, what do you do in the spare time?
I live in the same town as Marcus and James and Steven, so I often find myself, you know, hanging out with them or stuff like that, or you just go skate or art, stuff like that, just write poetry. I don't know, nothing too crazy.
What's your second hobby?
Second hobby? Skateboarding.
Skateboarding?
Sure. Yeah. Skateboarding, playing chess, poker, being in the outdoors, and just art. All around art. Love art. It's pretty much that.
So, if you had one thing to tell a bunch of kids to do in the future, what would you say?
Well, I'm not one to really take advice from, so if I saw someone going the wrong path, I would definitely, you know, try to steer them in the right direction. I'd stay away from, just be yourself. I don't know, don't follow anything, just be you. That's probably what I would tell them.
Are you happy with how far you came in your life?
Yeah, because it was pretty fucked up for a minute. Yeah.
All right, that's a wrap.
Right on.
Thank you, Brandon.